Hey everyone, welcome to Christina Cakes It. I'm Christina and today I'm showing you how to use a stamp to easily decorate a cake. So something that other people may have noticed is that butterflies are definitely back on trend. I've really seen this in the fashion world and it's definitely going to translate into the cake world. And I've actually already made a butterfly cake before. I made a wafer paper butterfly cake and it was absolutely beautiful. But I was thinking I kind of wanted to do another version of a butterfly cake, and I also wanted to try a new technique. So I had this really cool idea about stamping a cake. And the thought behind it was that using stamps to decorate a cake would actually be super simple. It's like really a cake hack. So I decided to marry both ideas and use a butterfly stamp to decorate the cake. So this technique is going to be very simple, and I'm going to start with a chilled cake. It's very important that your cake does need to be cool because you want that buttercream really firmed up. So as I mentioned, I am using buttercream. This would also work really well on fondant. It's just buttercream is my medium of choice, but you could use either. And my cake has actually been in the fridge for like 2 days. I thought I was gonna film yesterday, but we pushed it to today. But you're gonna want it to be in the fridge for at least an hour before you start using your stamps. So I decided to go with a light blue buttercream just because it's gonna be reminiscent of the butterfly emoji that everybody loves, including me. And the stamps I decided to use, I found on Amazon, shocker. And they're actually like these clear stamps. And the reason I went with these is because they're very bendable and the cake is obviously round and I want it to be able to curve around the cake. You can put them on these like acrylic blocks, they just cling to them, but then they don't really curve around the cake. So I thought this would be a good idea. You could also just use a regular rubber stamp, that would work as well, but just be mindful that if your cake is curved, you're probably gonna have a hard time getting that color on the cake. So all I'm gonna do is take some black gel food coloring, and you definitely wanna use gel food color on this. I wouldn't use like any water-based food colorings because the gel is gonna be thicker. And I have my little foam brush here, and I'm just gonna paint it onto my stamp. And I wanna make sure that everything is coated. I did practice this before to make sure it would work. And when I washed the stamps off, they left like a little bit of a pink tint. So you can see these were my practice butterflies. And I'm carefully going to press my stamp into my cake. And just lift it off. So it's going to be important to paint your stamp between each use and really make sure you're getting each like of the little areas, because you can see that anything that's left like unpainted is going to show. So I will give you fair warning that your fingers are probably gonna get a little bit messy if you're using these flexible stamps, but it's just comes with the territory. So as I'm putting the stamps on the cake, they actually stick really nicely, but I am pressing in lightly just to transfer that food coloring onto the buttercream. So I'm just gonna continue on with this, just all around my cake. So now that I have placed all of my butterflies, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go back in and with a paintbrush and a little bit of the gel food coloring, I'm gonna touch up like any areas that are like a little bit too light. I kind of like how it ended up turning out where it looks like almost tattooed on there. So I wouldn't say I'm gonna go back in and fill in like every sparse area because I like how it looks. But this is really helpful if you had a stamp that maybe didn't transfer, just a little paintbrush and gel food coloring. So the very last thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a black border along the top of the cake just for a little bit of contrast. So I'm using black buttercream and a Wilton 1M tip, and I'm just going to pipe a simple border along the top. So my simple stamped cake is done, and I think it turned out really cute. And this is just a really simple, easy way to decorate a cake if you're short on time or if you're a beginner. So obviously you can use any type of stamp that you like. And if you like this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.